Mr. Whiskers was a cat, not just any cat, he was, and Mr. Whiskers loved to explore. Every day, he would sniff out new corners of his neighborhood. He loved the smell of fresh grass and the feel of warm sunshine. One sunny afternoon, Mr. Whiskers felt a familiar itch. It was the curiosity itch. He knew he had to explore. He crept through the garden. He squeezed under the fence. He found himself in a place he'd never seen before. It was a field of tall golden grass. The grass swayed gently in the wind. It whispered secrets Mr. Whiskers was desperate to hear. Mr. Whiskers took a deep breath. He knew this was going to be an amazing adventure. The grass was so tall, it tickled Mr. Whiskers' belly. He pushed through, his tail held high. The air was filled with the buzz of insects. Mr. Whiskers had never seen so many bugs before. A fat, juicy grasshopper hopped past. Mr. Whiskers crouched low to the ground. He wiggled his haunches ready to pounce, but the grasshopper was too quick. It sprang away and disappeared. Mr. Whiskers felt a little frustrated. He decided to keep exploring. He pushed through the grass, determined to find more interesting creatures. This new world was full of surprises. Suddenly, Mr. Whiskers heard a rustle above him. He froze, his ears pricked. A small brown head peeked down from a stalk of grass. It was a field mouse. The mouse looked scared. It trembled, whiskers twitching. "Hello," said Mr. Whiskers. He tried to sound friendly. The mouse squeaked. "Don't eat me," it cried. "I'm Pipsqueak, and I'm very small and not very tasty." Mr. Whiskers chuckled. "Don't worry, Pipsqueak," he said. "I'm not going to eat you. I'm Mr. Whiskers, and I'm lost." Pipsqueak, braver now, scurried down the grass stalk. "Lost?" he squeaked. "I know this field like the back of my paw. I can help you get back home." Mr. Whiskers was so relieved. "Oh, thank you, Pipsqueak," he purred. He followed Pipsqueak through the tall grass. They chatted and laughed like old friends. As the sun began to set, they reached the edge of the field. Mr. Whiskers could see his house in the distance. He turned to Pipsqueak. "Thank you," he said. "I learned that even when I'm lost, kindness can be found in unexpected places." Pipsqueak smiled. "And I learned that not all cats are scary," he squeaked. Mr. Whiskers went home, his heart full of joy and his belly full of adventure. He knew he'd never forget his new friend, Pipsqueak, and the lesson he had learned in the field of golden grass.